So as you've probably worked out by the title for this video, today's all about looking at why you should photograph boring subjects. Hence why I'm photographing a road closed sign and not doing what every other photographer is probably doing today and photographing this temperature inversion. I'll tell you more as we get into the video. So I absolutely love this scene here, this lane. The kind of red closed signs and barriers really pop against the autumnal looking trees being hit by the nice side light. I could really do with a dog walker or something walking past here. I've just walked past about 4 or 5 dog walkers. But I've been here 10 minutes now and no one. So you might be able to see the temperature inversion in the distance there. Here's me taking another picture of a footway closed sign. But anyone who watched my last video where I was photographing locally and I was talking about taking sets of images to kind of piece together the story, which is what I'm trying to do with this lane. Obviously further down the lane we'd got closure signs. Clearly the lane's starting to crumble away and erode, which is not uncommon in parts of the Peak District where I am today. And I think the same with the footpath that leads down into the valley there. So for me, they help just piece together a little bit more about this lane. You saw earlier, if I've shown it, an image of a cyclist that came up it. Well, that's annoying. Just come off that closed road now, and just as I was walking around the corner, a motorbike went down it. And that'd have been a perfect subject if I could have just got him in the frame with that sign there. I was hoping he'd come back, but he'll be able to make it through, which is probably why he's gone that way. Now that's definitely my kind of subject that I like to photograph. I remember seeing it actually last winter and I thought it'd look good when it got a bit of foliage around it. I'm guessing there's a lot of people that would look at that and think, why on earth are you taking a photograph of that? But I just love it. Obviously that there, with the trailer next to it as well. I wonder if I can kind of get a shot with both of them in. Okay, so let's have a chat about what you can learn from photographing boring things or things that we perceive to be boring. So I think the first thing is it slows you down and makes you become more observant. So those images I took earlier of those signs along that road, the thing that caught my eye straight away was how they popped against the light and the autumnal trees. 6 months ago I'd have just walked past that and not even given it a second thought. It definitely teaches you composition skills. You have to work so much harder for a composition. You can no longer rely on a grand vista. So it helps you develop your own personal vision. When I first started photography, Instagram was my kind of source of inspiration. But all that happened as a result of that is I just copied others. I went to the same locations, tried to take the same images. Very rarely got any images that were quite as good because I wasn't fortunate enough to get the same kind of light. Whereas the photos that I take now mostly are quite unique. I very rarely see any similar photographs. Yes, a lot of people will look at them and think, what on earth is he doing? Why is he taking photographs of that? But because they resonate with me and I'm interested in them, it keeps me going out with the camera. I'd got to the point where I just stopped going out because I didn't want to go and get the same photographs as everyone else, which is why I'm here today and not on the top of a mountain photographing that inversion. I absolutely love mist. They're my favourite conditions to photograph in by a mile. I mean, that is as mundane and boring a scene as you can get, and it's just completely transformed by the light and the mist. Well, in my eyes it has been. So I know what you're all thinking. Why on earth has he stopped to take a photograph of that? But if I just tell you what drew my eye to this, I quite like the actual gate and the cable that creates like a triangle shape. And you won't be able to see it on camera, but there's a house up on the hillside up there, and it kind of frames quite nicely in that triangle. And obviously your eye leads through down the road towards the site, and then you've got the hills in the background. So just something about it, the light, the colours, the sign, the fact it's framing the house in the distance, just makes it an interesting scene to me. I think what I would probably typically look to do is get a few more shots of the site itself to piece it all together. I'll have a look when I get down there to see if there's anything interesting. So I think one of the biggest challenges that we face when we're trying to photograph boring or mundane subjects is how can we make them look interesting? So I've already seen today that light plays a big part in that. So I've had some beautiful early morning misty light, and I think they've transformed a lot of the scenes that I've photographed today. But that's gone now. Obviously the sun's burnt that off. So if we take that industrial site as an example that I walked through, I'll pop a couple of photos on screen that I took as I was walking through there in relation to what caught my eye. So the first thing I noticed was there was a couple of buildings as I was walking through the yard, and the light was hitting the side of them quite nicely. And I think on one of the buildings there was a public footpath sign, which caught my interest because it wasn't immediately obvious where that footpath went. And then as I went round the corner, given it's an industrial site, there's lots of signs everywhere saying how dangerous that site is. And the colours of those signs popped in this light. So again, I thought they were worth taking a photograph of, particularly as part of a set of images of that particular place. Obviously other things that you can do is try and find the human element in your photograph. I'm sure I've got one or two today where there's been a person walking through the scene, which I think's helped elevate it. So again, I'll pop those on screen if I have taken them. I'm sure I did. So here's a great example of the kind of things I like to photograph. It looks like a bothy, but here in the Peak District we don't have many bothies. So the fact that I'm asking lots of questions, then hopefully whoever views this image would do also, and it will just kind of keep them looking at the photograph for longer. I'm genuinely curious. I might need to research this when I get home and find out exactly what it's used for. It's definitely padlocked up, so there's no way of getting inside to check, sadly. So I photographed this last winter. A great example of why you keep coming back to a scene. I mean, today, despite a lot of autumn colour, it just doesn't work because it gets lost in the background. I'll pop up on screen the photo I took last winter when it had been snowing, so it kind of just isolated the subject because of the mist in the background. I thought I'd check it out whilst I was passing it today, but yeah, it needs mist to make it work. I think it'd be a great image in autumn with the colours if we had mist just taking out some of the background distraction. Right, so I'd better have a go at trying to summarise this video. I've got a feeling it might be a little bit all over the place. I'm sure they'll start to get slicker as I become more experienced at making these. Anyway, back to the summary. So I think the key thing for me, certainly in my humble opinion, is that photographing the boring and mundane has definitely made me a better photographer. certainly more observant. I'm sure I read a quote somewhere that went along the lines of if you can make the boring look beautiful, then you can photograph anything. Now, I'm not saying I've achieved that, but it's certainly something to aspire to. But in all seriousness, I hope you've taken something useful and helpful from this video. And I'd love to hear in the video comments if it has inspired you to go out and find your own beautiful within the boring. There you are, that's my quote. What I will probably do, if I remember, is I'll pop a few pictures together from today and other places that most people would consider boring. I'll pop them on a page on my website and I'll link it in the video description so you can go and check them out if you want. But I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.